hang out tonight. I want to show you what I'm doing, okay? See here on the table, I'm going to make a besom, a broom. In my tradition, in the witchcraft ways, we use brooms, besoms, for protection. I'll show you how I already have what I have at my front door. All right, just so you have an idea of the kinds of things you can do too. So this is my front door, right here. And that's my little girl down there. There's a little girlie. And if you look down there, you'll see there are two black cats and a dog, and my dog's ball, obviously, and a bunch of chestnuts. Here, let me see. I'll get that out of the way. Well, you want this, buddy? Oh, Venus, careful, son. Jeez. Go on, go down. I'll throw it for you, honey. And I'm just going to throw the ball for my boy. Get it! You found it. Good job. Venus is blind, so he really relies on the sound, size, and smell. So this is my front entrance, and as you can see, I have a couple black cats there, and I have chestnuts, and I have a broom. This is my front door. I also have a couple of other little things hiding, and that is right. Sorry, I had to put your baby down. So we put out two black cats. I put two black cats at my front door to, basically they are given the job to ward off anyone from coming in my house when I'm not here, or even from coming in my house when I am here, if they aren't decent people, right? So my wards, oh my goodness, sorry, there we go. My wards are those two black cats, and the chestnuts, and the witch's broom have always been at my door for years. Now the chestnuts really just to scare spiders from coming in, and the cats are, well, basically servitors for me. I mean, I've asked them, that's a Basque, Egyptian cat Basque, and I've asked Basque to be my protector in my space around my house. And, so I have two black cats there at the door. And I always tease and say, all witches have to have cats. They don't. But I do like to say it because back in the day when I didn't have cats, people used to always say, I bet you have cats. And I never did. I had dogs. But that was because my son was allergic to them. So once he grew up and was on his way, I always wanted to get a cat. Just wasn't the right time. But when I moved here to BC, there were a lot of rats here on the island. And I didn't want to live with rats because I had already run into them once. And I didn't like it. So I got myself a couple of cats. And they are trained to be killers. And there is a way to train them, and I did it. My cats are definitely killers for rats. And they don't live in the house. They live outside, although they come in every day and eat. So, yeah, 3 black cats. You got it. I love my cats. Yeah, and you know what? It's a good way to do it, is let them come to you, right? But I did go out and get 3 cats and brought them home. And I trained them to live outside and to come inside for food and love. And that's exactly what they do. And they go after rats and mice, and they keep down all the rodents, and my home is safe. But those black cats that I put at the door, those Basque cats, those are for humans. And to keep certain humans from bothering me, from coming near me, from coming into my space, from coming to bother my peacefulness. So I'm wondering, and the broom as well. So I ask you, what do you put at the door? What do you put in your space for protection? And since we're in Samhain, a Halloween time, this is a good time to refresh any protections that you have. This is a good time to create them. This is a good time to create wards, protection wards. And there's many, many ways to do it, and you can always make more than one kind. So a lot of people put brooms at their door, usually upright, in the upright position that is halting anyone from coming in who isn't aligned with your good vibe. Okay, bottom line. You can put a cross at the door too if that's what you're into. I have some issues with that, but that's okay. You can put a solar cross at your door. That's the High Priestess or the Templar's cross, which is equal armed cross. You can put other sigils and symbols. There are so many types of protection symbols. And yes, you got to follow the one that speaks to your soul, to your heart, to your culture. Indeed, salt, black salt especially, is very, very good to put at your door. In fact, under my mat, I have taken black salt that I made, and I made a pentagram. Well, I made a pentacle, the star, and a circle around it, and I put it underneath the mat. I also put angelica and cornmeal mixture around all my property, and cascarella. So cornmeal, cascarella, and angelica powder. I mix those together and put them around the property entrances. However, I did not do that in this one area. And didn't I have someone come in through the back, sneaking in with and I caught it on my camera. So I'm going to have to award my back area because I did not expect someone to come in through the backyard. Washing your entry doors exactly with lemon, sea salts, water, vanilla. Absolutely. And under your bed. Under your bed you can put sigils and things like that too. Talismans, bundles. That's another good one, is bundles, like medicine bag bundles. And in your medicine bag you're going to put herbs, and you're going to put crystals, and maybe some little prayers that you have written on a little scroll and stuffed in there, little protection prayers and things like that. So this is a good time to do that. You could also, a lot of people say that you should blow cinnamon into the house every month at the beginning of the month. So you might want to do that on November 1st. But you can do it with all kinds of herbs. It isn't just cinnamon. There are so many protection herbs and different things that you can use. Reiki, yeah, why not? You could Reiki your house. A lot of people don't think about this, but your house itself is already protecting you. It's got 4 walls, a roof, it's warm. You got locks on the doors, you got windows that shut and lock. These are already energetically protecting you. So, your house has a spirit as well, and you can talk to your house. I live in a beautiful log cabin, and I live on a property that's a very old property, and I speak to the whole property. And you want to, check the energy that you're in, that you're living in, that you're surrounded by. I have fir trees. This is a log house, and it's all fir. So the fir trees themselves and the energy of the fir trees is also protecting me and keeping me safe in so many ways. So, your house itself also has protection. Consider what kind of wood your house is made out of. And then consider, what is that tree about, right? Look it up. Find out stuff. I'll tell you, I have, not for trees, but for herbs, this book is really, really good. There's a little bit of wood in here, but it's just a nice little quick reference book that I think every witch should probably have on their shelf, to be honest with you. And it is created by a witch, so it's kind of good to support our people, right? So this is Scott Cunningham's book, and inside here he's really got it. You can't see this, sorry. He's got it really nicely categorized as well. So there's like love spells, peace herbs, prosperity, and protection herbs. And he writes a whole bunch of things about protection, right? It is a good book. It really is. And I will tell you just a few of because there's like a whole page and a half full of herbs that he's listed as potential protection plants. And he's not wrong. I've gone through them. I've taken a good look at them, and I have some of them here today. So he says, he goes from African violet. So even just a plant like that on your windowsill, if you've got an African violet in a room, you've got protection in your house. If you have rosemary outside your door, that's also protection. He speaks of aloe vera. If you got aloe vera in your house, that's protection. I don't know if you could see all mine. I got a whole bunch of aloe vera right there, right? So he says aloe vera is another good one. Let's see what else. Amaranth, angelica, anise, arbutus. In fact, this is a piece of arbutus, and this is going on the Besom that we're creating. And just so you know, snake plants is another good one, absolutely. Let's see here, what else? Ash, barley, bamboo, basil, bay, wood betony, birch, bittersweet, blackberry, bladderroot, bloodroot, blueberry, bonsat, Scotch broom. And this is Scotch broom that I have here. Look at this. That is Scotch broom. So I have Scotch broom and I have arbutus, and that's what we're going to make a besom with tonight. I'm going to show you some. Lavender's not so much of a protection. Sage is good though. Let's see what else here. Let's see, buckthorn, burdock, cactus, calamus, caraway, carnation, he says cascarella, castor, cedar. I also have some cedar here tonight that I brought to the table for burning. Chrysanthemum, cinnamon, chinkfoil, clove and clover, mosses, black cohosh, cotton. Look at it all. Cypress, datura. I have datura in the house as well. Dill, dogwood, dragon's blood. Anything you should not have. Well, for protection, there's lots of things you shouldn't have. That would be very confusing for me to share that tonight. Garlic, 100% garlic. Yes. Let's see, elder, Allen campaign, eucalyptus, fennel. Just look at that. It's so many things. Frankincense, garlic, here it is. Gourd, grain, grass, hazel, heather, holly, honeysuckle, horehound. So I brought horehound, cedar, moss. Does he say? Now lavender is listed here, but it's just that there's so much else that it's good for. You could use it, I suppose, but it's not one I would choose for this time of year in terms of creating a ward for protection. I wouldn't actually use that one personally. But Scott Cunningham says yes. Okay, Scott Cunningham. He says yes. Let's see here. Lime, linden, mallow, mandrake, meadow rue, mimosa, mint, mistletoe, mugwort, mulberry, mullein, mustard, myrrh, nettle, pine, oak, and acorns, olive, onion, orris, papaya. Let's see, parsley, pennyroyal, pepper, pine, plantain, plum, primrose, purslane, radish, ragwort, raspberry, rattlesnake root, rhubarb, rice, roots and rose and rosemary, rowan, sage, St. John's wort, sandalwood, snapdragon. Let's see, what else have we got? Thistle, of course, and toadflax, absolutely. Tomato, he mentions, and turnip, and tulip, and Valerie, and vervain, and violets, he said already. Willow's another one. Wintergreen, witch hazel, wolfsbane, woodruff, wormwood, yerba santa, and the yucca tree. So those are some of the herbs that you can use. I only mentioned half of what he said, actually. But certainly you can use as many as you want. But one of the rules that I go by is a minimum of 3 herbs. And I like to use 5, to be honest, for the most part. So have you ever used a charcoal briquette? I'll show you. Hang on. This is a charcoal briquette, all right? The book is Scott Cunningham's book on Encyclopedia of Herbs. Scott Cunningham, Encyclopedia of Herbs. If you Can't find it. I sell them in my stores. My stores are metaphysical stores called Earth and Sky Connection. We have one in Barrie, Ontario. We have one in Nanaimo, and we have one we're opening up in Vancouver. I can't talk. Victoria, Vancouver Island. All right, so what I brought to the table today, fresh rosemary. Yes, that's wonderful. Right? This is the book, but it shows backwards. Okay? I hope that helps, Dee. I'm not sure how to make it flip it over. I don't know if I can do it. Oh, yes, I can. No, I can't. Wait a minute. I did it wrong. I flipped it the wrong way. Oh, wait a minute. Here we go. Hang on. Ha! Ha 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 ha. There we go. There we are. There it is. How's that, Dee? You can see it better now, eh? Of course. You just ordered it. Wonderful. It's a fabulous book. I promise you that. You will really, really, really use it a lot. And, just because everything's so neat and tidy in the book, it's very friendly, easy to use, right? Okay, so I want to show you what we're doing. Oh, you're welcome. All right, so here's all my goodies. Wait a second. There's a little cauldron I'm burning right now. I'm just getting the charcoal ready. And I have some sawain oil. It is already put together, and it's a combination of some of those herbs I just mentioned. And we're just going to put that good energy. Ooh, does that ever smell nice? I wish we could transfer smell. The charcoal just keeps everything burning. You watch while I put things on. So I'm going to put some Irish moss. Oh, can you see that? Irish moss, first one. And these are all herbs that we sell in my store. I have over 400 herbs. Well, where am I? I have over 400 herbs in my store. And they're all in little packages like this one, or larger. And you just take a little pinch, and you ask the herb, Irish moss, please send all your good vibes into this little space that we are creating, this Besom in. And we ask you to put the energy of protection. That's what we ask you to do the most here, is protection. It's also good for money, by the way. So we might as well add a little bit of money too. That would be good protection. That we could always stay here. All right, so another thing we're going to put in there is juniper berries. Juniper berries is also something we can use for protection. All right? I'm just going to take a couple little berries and stick it right on there. And that again is for protection. It can also be used for loyalty and passion and love. A lot of people were doing love spells at this time of year too, So you can put a little pinch of that in there. Why not, right? Okay, some horehound. Horehound, we're asking Juniper to do the work of protection for us, please, and make sure that anyone that comes near our space will indeed be the right energy and will be a safe person for our space. The same thing we're asking here of Horehound, to give us the good vibrations of added protection. And here is hawthorn berry. Hawthorn berry, where am I here? There I am. Sorry. Hawthorn berry. Oh, I love it. We have hawthorn trees all over the place here. And I want these berries. I'm going to put 3. I put 2 already for the juniper. I'm going to put 3 berries of the hawthorn there, and ask the hawthorn to do its good work of protecting and enhancing our spell of protection for both ourselves, everyone in our house, and the Besoms, things that we create to put outside of the house to protect us from all negativity. I also have a little bit of cedar here. I'm going to put some cedar in there for good measure. And that is also for protection. And we ask the cedar to help us with that as well. So once it gets burning a little bit, I'm just going to give it a little hand up. Let me get that smoke going. Well, there we go. Oh, yes. Do you have a cauldron? Hawthorn is awesome for that, absolutely. So one of the things I'm going to do is, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up all of this Scotch broom and I'm going to waft it through this smoke and give this Scotch broom added protection and good energy. And you know, what are we protecting ourselves from? We can also protect ourselves from wind damage to our home, fire damage, flood damage, structural damage. You can have all of these things that we're creating for protection to not only protect the humans, but the animals. That's another one, you know, protect our animals. So when we say we're looking for protection for our home, it's all those that we love that come into our home, our animals, ourselves, and the home itself, because we love our home and everything in our home, right? Keep us from having anyone come in and violate our space. Oh yes, cauldrons are beautiful. I have many. This is my oldest and dearest cauldron. It actually comes apart like this, you see. This is a very old one. Can you see it? And it has this part as well. I've had that for 30 years, and it's got to be much older than me. I just don't know how old it is. So we're going to make this broom. Let's get started, okay? So I've chosen purple and black because it's very much the Halloween colors, and I've put them together, and I'm going to try to set this camera up so that you can watch me creating. So hang on a minute. Here we go. All right. So you get yourself comfortable. All right. And then you take your Scotch broom like this, and I've already clipped it and cleaned it all up, and I've put it in a way so that it's all ready laying flat, you see, and almost even at the bottom, so everything, you want it to be able to be used as a broom, right? For real. So you open it up, put it all together, open it up a bit, take your stick. Now there's many ways to do this, so you may find a tutorial somewhere that changes the way I've done it, and just do it that way if you like it better. This is an easy way to take your herbs and do it. I find this the easiest. There are others where you can take the herb and wet it. Depends on what you're making. There's so many ways, and because I'm also an ordained minister, we use besoms in the jumping of the broom at the end of the ceremony, right? And I've made so many different types of brooms, and I've also helped people learn how to make their own brooms the way they want. And you don't have to be fussy. Do it the way you feel most connected. But you can also wet it and make it be more pliable. There's all kinds of ways to do it. So this is one easy way that I do, okay? So you lift it up and you put your string, because the first thing you want to do is attach it to the broom, right? To the stick. The bristles represents the feminine energy. And so that's why when we, at the bottom, we're going to see sort of like a skirt, and that represents the feminine vibe. Whoops, hold on. And the stick itself represents the male. So for instance, in a wedding ceremony, I always tell the man to bring home the stick and the woman to find the bristles. All right? And yeah, it's different if you're gay and all that. I'm sorry, I'm not going to get into all of that, but just you guys figure it out. Don't worry about the rules and that when you already start breaking them. Just do you. I'm good with that. Everybody's good with that. But traditionally, this is what it meant. The bristles represent the feminine energy, the female, and the stick represents the male energy. Obviously, I think it's kind of obvious why. Is it obvious? Okay, so then you just wrap this around first, and then you want to tie it, and you want to try to get it tight as you can. Okay, tight as you can. Now that didn't work out the way I wanted, so hold on a minute. Oh, wait a minute. It's kind of hard to create tutorials that are easy when there's only one of you. All right, so let me get this right here. Oh, lovely. I'm going to start over here. There it is. All right. Yeah, you might have to do it this way. Start over a couple of times till you get it right. No big deal. All right, so make sure you have a bed down of them first, like that, right? Then you take your stick and you put it in the middle, like that. I'm going to turn it so that it's... And you see I'm giving it a good, I don't know, maybe 8 inches inside, all right? So then you want to take this part, put it that way, and then take the side and pull it up on this side, all right? Take your string. I'm using embroidery floss. Okay. You can also use ribbon. Hold it up, put it on, and tighten. Now I put a little loop on the end of this one so I can bring this through and pull. Okay? All right. So then you can pull it tighter. See? There we go. That's better. Pull it tight. And then lift this up and just make sure everything got in there. It's all in. Move everything around so you don't actually see the stick. You just want to see the bristles on the outside, right? Okay. Pull it tight. And then start pulling and wrapping. Now it's a little bit of a pain in the ass until you get going, but just take your time and do it like this, okay? Now if your stick is not too long, you can just push it over the stick. I'll show you in a second here. Okay. You push it over the stick like this, watch. Oh. Okay. I guess that's easiest like that. And every time you put it on, you tighten and pull, okay? Tighten and pull. And don't forget, you want to be able to keep where you started. You want to keep that string so that it's visible. See how mine is sticking out there? I hope you can see it. So, because you want to be able to tie this to it once you have finished the wrap. Okay, so now you got it. You got it kind of, you got it on there. Now you can lift it up and put it like this and hold it between your legs. This is how I do it. And now your wrap around is going to be a little easier, but you already got it nice and tight. So get your string where you want it, not under your ass like mine is. There it is. All right, and then pull. Okay, and this is where you're going to notice some didn't get in there. Push them in. Make a little of yeah, you might have to sacrifice a few or push up a bit. Get them in there like that. And wherever there is, where your stick is showing, you want to move things around until it isn't. Okay, now we got it perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. See, it doesn't take much, just takes a little bit of manhandling or hag handling. You know, the name hag comes from an old goddess, Cailleach is how you say it. It's a Gaelic goddess that is celebrated at Samhain, which is Halloween, meaning the end of summer. Samhain means the end of summer. And we celebrate Hallows Eve. There's many names for it, as you know. There's the Day of the Dead, All Saints' Night, Hallows Eve, Devil's Night. I've heard so many different names for it. But whatever it is you call it, the purpose of it is to recognize the shadow side of things in life. Recognize the shadows in you, in others. That's why we're recognizing that by building a protection ward, because we know, especially now, people are fucked. I mean, I'm sorry to say, but I've never seen a world so full of nonsense as I have in the last few years. COVID brought it out. Oh my God, did it ever come out. But we're here, and this is a good time of year to be building new wards, to take out your old wards, have a nice bonfire, burn them up, say thank you to them for their help for the year that you just had, that they did, you know, help you with, and create new ones, right? Or you can take old ones down and recharge them and, you know, refresh them, re-love them. You know, you got to talk to your wards too once in a while. You thank them for their time, for their effort, for their love, for their assistance in keeping you safe. All right, so now that you've got that first tie in, you tie it right up. So you, where is it now? Here it is. All right, so got to come back around. And so you find the other end that you started with, right? And you take this end and you tie it to one another. Now, a lot of times when you're doing your wrapping and you're tying in that, you're thinking about, you know, again, what you want your item to do for you, you know? And of course, we already know this is going to be for protection, but you also want to show gratefulness and love and, you know, reverence towards the items that you're using. Like this Scotch broom I found, the Scotch broom itself is a plant that Vancouver Island has, you know, deemed invasive, and it's because it came in through the Scottish ships years and years ago, and it loves it here, and it grows prolifically and takes over and actually kills out other plants. So, you know, it's considered invasive, but this is one of the uses for it. I mean, look at this so far, right? Look at this so far. It's beautiful. But one of the uses years ago was for this. right? Look at that. This is the first step. See? The first step. And the second step is another rim, you know, going around with your thread again one more time anyways. So we'll do that. Hang on, put this down. I have another one here too that I'm ready to make. Sometimes you want to make big ones and small ones, because to have a small one on your altar at all times is really helpful, especially when it comes to ash, you know, when you're burning incense or cauldron messes and things. It's nice to have a little, a working broom, literally, one that you can sort of wipe away all the ashes, right? And whatever messes you created. Having a smaller broom, a working broom, so to speak, is a good idea. This one here is going to do a different job. This is not going to be, obviously, it's not going to be one that I clean the altar off with. This is one I'm going to fly with. This is one I'm going to use to fly with. Does anybody ever know the stories about where did we get these ideas that we could fly? Anybody know? And is there anyone here who would like to come and share that story? Mushrooms. Whoa. Well, that would definitely be what Rudolph and the reindeers used, right? They definitely, they ate those amanita, I think they're called amanita mushrooms, so the red and white ones, but they're red with the little dots on them. In fact, if you look at some of the old Christmas decorations, the ceramic ones, you'll see all those little mushrooms all over the ground. Yeah, you could use mushrooms. You definitely could. Any type of fungi, well, not any type, many types of fungi. Like some of the reasons why witches were considered crazy is because they were often, when they were baking bread, they would end up with bread with air, like when they were doing, what was it, wheat, I guess, and corn. It was the corn, that's what it was. They had the arrowroot fungus in it, and when you eat arrowroot, you kind of go crazy, a little hallucinogenic, right? So it's possible that's what caused them to be considered crazy. But as far as flying, belladonna is one of the ingredients to make an, what would you call it, an ointment or a potion for flying. There are a number of herbs that were used in that method, but the flying thing, there's a number of interesting stories about it. Don't remember all of them, to be honest with you, but the whole idea of flying most definitely had to do originally with the hallucinogenics that were found, well, basically ended up in food, right? So, but no, there was another thing. The belladonna, there was a flying ointment. Oh gosh, I'm forgetting the whole reason about the flying. Why did I even bring it up? I forget now. Because I forget. Does someone else have the story? Oh my goodness, my humanity is showing. All right, so let me just get this part over here. All right, so I'm going to start to turn the broom this way, see? And now it's easier because you've got it all together. Now you can turn it just like that, see? And each turn, make it tighter and tighter. Okay? Don't lose sight of your beginning so you can use it to tie off when you're done. You see, when I have headache, I can't remember things. It clogs my memory. It's terrible. Good thing I made these so many times. So there you go. That is basically, and then once you get this all set up like this, then the nice thing is you can later come at it with, you know, leathers and feathers. I will show you a picture of it. I am going to do that to this one. I'm going to put some feathers and beads and leathers and things like that on this and make it really super beautiful. But I really just wanted to show you how you could make your own besom. And, you know, it's been used for centuries. There's some interesting stories. Like some people say that if you put a besom on the ground in front of your door, no one will step over it, and no one can go over it in any way. Some people put the broom with the bristles down to welcome guests into the space. Some put the broom upside like this to deter people from coming into the space. So there we have it. Look at this beautiful thing. Look at this. All right. See that? Isn't that beautiful? Isn't she beautiful? Right? Oh, I like her. Look at her. Now you could put one more, and I think it would look better if we did one more wrap. One more wrap. And then you have the above, below, within energy in here. I like that. The maid, mother, and the crone, that kind of thing, right? And it doesn't take long. The longest part will be harvesting your items, to be honest with you, right? The longest part is harvesting. But that's also a fun part, you know? Like I said, this is all outside my property, so it's just in the ditch. So I just go outside, and this one here I harvest from last year. Otherwise it would be greener, but I wanted to use my last year's stock first before I even started the other one. I'm going to make a bunch of brooms for my store, and this is a good time to cut your items for stuff like that, right? This is it. This is it right now. And you can use herbs, some of the herbs, that's why I mentioned some of those herbs. You can use herbs as well. So maybe you take the stalks. Let's say you had some basil and you took all the leaves off the stalk. Then you can use the stalk to put inside here, whatever's left over. You know, you don't have to just throw everything out. And like I said, I personally wouldn't put lavender in my stuff as a protection so much, but it sure can be used as that. I see that more as a healing herb, but I know people also would see it as, for me, no. But I will put some in there because I like the color for this time of year. And purple and black, and orange and green. Purple, black, orange, and green. That's the colors that I want to see in this broom. All the Halloween colors. So I will put a little bit of lavender in it as to pretty it up. So I'm just showing you the basics, and then when I get it all nice and prettied up, I will I'll take a ride on my broom and take a video of it, okay? And then I'll tell you the story of riding the broom and where it came from. When I remember it all, and I have to look, there's a couple stories and I'm getting them mixed up in my head, so I'd rather just wait and tell you the story later. Maybe I'll do it on Tuesday. I will be doing bone readings with my owl bones, and I'll talk to you then about the broom. Okay? I am using Scotch broom for the bristle of the broom, and arbutus for the stick of the broom. Both are protection herbs and tree. You can use a number of different things for your stick. You can use oak, you can use willow. Oak is better than willow, I would say. But yeah, you can use willow. Definitely, my very first broom was made out of willow. So you can use that. It's easy to work with. And one nice thing about willow is hello, hon, if you use it, if you have it, things about willow, basically, willow is a tree that will bend in the wind before it breaks. So it's a reminder for us to bend before we break. Bend, be pliable, be, bendable, flexible, so that others wouldn't find you too difficult to get along with. So a broom made from that could be really good for someone who maybe has a lot of personality. Oak is a good one, I would say, for someone who needs a little more backbone, a little more strength. Arbutus is, I use this one because I found it to be a very creative. I like the crooked stick idea because that to me is the type of male energies I've been around most of my life. So I'm honoring it. Is the crooked man, is the, it doesn't follow a straight path. Go with it, yeah. And you really you gotta figure out what's around you too, and use what's around you. I think that's important to do. Use what's around you, right? So purple and black is the beginning of this beautiful piece that I'm making, and I'm going to do one more wrap around so that I get the maid, mother, and crone vibration in here, as well as the above, below, and within vibration. So again, I made a hoop. So I just made a little bit of a hoop, and I'm holding it in my hand like this, and I'm going to take this and pull it around, put it through the hole, and then pull this all through. Oops, why is it sticking? Come on now. There it is. Okay, so now that it's on there, you pull it down where you want it. Okay, I want it about the same distance from the other one so that there's the same space in between here. So I like it aesthetically correct as well. So then you pull it down now. So tighten it good. Oh, crappers. Don't tighten it that good. That's easy enough. Just start over. Okay, that's all right. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, it's fun to make brooms. It's fun to make brooms. And when you know that they're for protection, and the reason we use it in a wedding is to jump the broom means you leave behind your old life. You leave behind old lovers, old relationships, and show a willingness to start anew with your new partner, right? And that's part of the reason why we jump the broom, or the meaning behind it. I mean, back in the day, people were jumping the broom because it was originated in Africa and Scotland. I'm not sure which one was first. I found first it was Africa, and then I found another story about Scotland, so I'm not sure. But either one of them, both of them used the whole idea of jumping the broom because they didn't have money to pay someone to marry them. So they made their own weddings. And just by jumping the broom, you made a commitment with your partner to be wedded. And it was as simple as that. Jumping the broom meant you were wedded. That simple. And that's it. And that's kind of cool. To me, I always thought, the government's got their nose in everything. They shouldn't have to actually have their nose in that, but they do. So I thought, okay, I'm going to become an ordained minister, and I do weddings in order to help people customize them as naturally as they can or want. And I sort of take it out of the church and bring it back into nature and show, sort of connecting with our universe in the way I do weddings is I take us out of the church, put us under the umbrella of the sky, which I think is the true church nature, and help people connect with their soul, themselves, their partners, those that they love, without the constraints of religion first, self first, connection with the universe first. These are more important to me. Hey, Wendy. Yes, hand fasting is what it's called, hand fasting. And I can do them for you if you wish. And you're either in British Columbia, Ontario, Alberta, And where else can I go? Nova Scotia, I think. But I live in British Columbia, so that would be easier for me to do and less expensive. There's all kinds of people though out there that are doing this now, so you won't be too hard to find someone who loves the old ways, like me. So you tighten and see now now because it's all together. I've got my hand with the string facing me. See here, all right here, and now I'm just going to turn the broom like this and pull every little bit. Keep pulling, make it nice and tight. Pull and keep turning until all of your string is nice wrapped around your broom. All right, we're almost done. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. She came together nicely for you. Yes, she did. And my headache's starting to go away. Hooray! That was a nasty little headache I was having. All right, we're coming to the end. You married a couple last Halloween. Oh, I love Halloween weddings. Aren't they fun? I love them. I did one once with a woman who wore a black dress and purple accessory. Oh my God, she was beautiful. She was beautiful. Oh my, I just couldn't believe it. And her husband wore black, and I think he was black. Was he black and purple too? They had orange in there too. Can't remember how they did, but boy, was it ever nice. Nice, very nice, fun wedding. Fun wedding. How is everyone tonight? Are you going out for Halloween this weekend? Are you going to any masquerade parties? You going to anything? You going to dress up? Are you going to stay home and fill the children's jack-o'-lanterns up with yummies? What is on the horizon for you? What will you be doing? Right? Thank you. So for those of you interested, this is the White Wolf Coven. I am Tamara White Wolf. And every Friday at 6 o'clock, I offer hour-long sessions like this to intrigue you to learn more about witchcraft and what is the act of living in a witchy way. What is it? What are you guys doing? So I decided to start sharing and showing that to the regular mainstream in hopes that y'all would find an interest and love for witches that are all over the world. There's this crazy story that we're not awesome, and we are. Yes, this is a beautiful table, isn't it? I love it too. I had it made for me. Look, I'll show you. Oh, let's see here. That's my table. It is bird's eye maple, and it is gorgeous. And I have a whole bunch of crystals inside there. A whole bunch of yummies that I have been collecting for years. There's some over there too. Yeah, this is home. Hey, hi, Suzanne. Hi, yes, it's beautiful. Thank you. Isn't it nice? Yeah, I put the lights in there too. I created this whole table. I had so much fun with it. Actually, if you look at this light up here, let's see, can you see that light with all of the fringes on it? And then there's another one over there. Well, I did the same thing down here. See? Can you see it? Not sure if you can see it. Yeah, you can see it. See? So I fringed. It doesn't matter that I'm older. I'm still a hippie. Right? Yeah. Thank you. I like color. I used to just wear black, and then I realized that well, someone told me they were afraid of me because I always wore black, and I realized that wearing black was a thing I always did, and it occurred to me that there was reasons I did it, and I learned that people wearing black were really just trying to, banish any negativity that might be around them. They didn't want to absorb any more nonsense, so that's what they did. People wear black and not even realizing why. That's just what we do. We don't even know. So as I got older, started wearing more things that were, let's say, sigils and talismans as opposed to colors. And now I am liking the color. Purples, and then all the colors, as you can see. All the colors. All the colors, all the colors, all the colors. I love colors. Right on. Great idea. Great idea, Bronwyn. I am from Ontario, but I now live in British Columbia, Vancouver Island, and just a little bit south in Nanaimo. Thank you, Tara Rose. So let's take a good look. I'm just going to finish this off. How do I know I'm a witch? Wow. Well, I guess I was about 3 or 4 years into it when I realized I was a witch. People used to say, witch, witch, and yell at me, witch, witch, when they go by my store. And I never thought I was a witch. I always saw myself as a shaman kind of person, shaman spiritualist. And then eventually I figured it out that, we're all witchy. The shaman spiritualist is, very similar to a witch. Well, thank you, Heather. Am I concerned with the fault line going off? I have a lot of concerns about a lot of things, to be honest. But I do my best not to focus on, I really do my best not to focus on that. And you know why? Because I'm going to live each day like it's my last day. That's how I'm doing it. Right? I think if you're wondering if you're a witch, you're probably a witch. But what makes you a witch is your connection to nature, your connection to herbs, your connection to animals, your connection to, psychicism, let's say, healing, psychicism, spiritualism, stuff like that. If you find that you don't fit the norm, if you don't, find the Christian norm or that type of Orthodox religion feeling right for you, then, and you find nature more of a calling to you, then likely you're a witch. No, we don't want to manifest the negative. So I try not to focus on those things. Instead, I give thought to those things in sacred times and ask for protection. And I do prayer work and that over them. And I have done ritual work in order to relieve some of the problems that I see out there, like with the wars that are happening around us. Unfortunately, not presently in our space, and it's been predicted that it could very easily be in our space, and we are lucky that it is not. All right, so there we are. Right there is my baby, my beginnings. And see her, look at her bristles. Isn't that nice? Isn't that beautiful? Scotch broom. She's beautiful, right? So this, just to be clear, this is Scotch broom. And the stick is arbutus. Right? So I'm going to put it over here. Oh, hi, Rocky. You came in, did you? Hello, my boy. Hey, Rock. And that's my black cat, Rocky. Hello, handsome. There's the broom. I'll see if you can see it. Let me see here. Let me see here. Hang on a second. I'm having a hard time. I'm going to flip the camera. Might make it easier. Whoops. There we go. There it is. Look at that. Black cats and Besoms. Rocky boy, you're on stage. Come and say hello. Right? Isn't that a beautiful broom? Isn't that lovely? Yeah, that's a nice one. Look at that. Rock. Rocky boy. I almost called my boy Salem. There he is. Hello, handsome boy. I almost called him Salem, but he turned out to be a Rocky because he's sassy. He's my sassy boy. Very strong and very beautiful. Yeah, I'm a witchy mama. Yeah, that's a nice broom. I'm very happy to have made it. Beautiful, beautiful broom. And I will dress it all up and put some feathers and beads and leathers and things like that in it. And then it will go into my sacred temple, where those that come who want to do weddings and did not make themselves a broom but want to jump the broom anyway